Everybody muted except me and you.
Yeah, they
This Lee and Joe.
What's up, man?
They ain't Willie Joe got it.
Big dog,
Willie
big dog
Joe
got that. Big dog. Big dog.
Willie Joe. Hey, hurry, close your closet, bro.
Big dog. Look at Big Dog.
What's up, man?
Big dog. I ain't seen you in a minute, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all need to go inside now. Yeah, this might get un-PG. You don't know how this. You just do a roof party. How this thing gonna turn out? I'm trying to put it on my earphones, so I will. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh, bro, this thing right here liable to be something special.
Disappeared into the orange bowl. I don't know how this thing gonna work out, dog. Like, I don't know how this thing gonna work out. Watch out. What you trying to do? What did it say? Meeting is now on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, you have it on my too.
I got it.
To the garage.
For what?
Hey, the baby crying now. Look what y'all did to the baby. Look what y'all did to the baby. Hey, y'all. Come on.
Look at Black. Look at Black.
Hey.
He got his background. Black must have had his girlfriend and said his black.
Huh? What you said?
Black, you had your girlfriend set your background up.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Uncle Luke.
My man, 50 grand.
What's happening?
We getting ready to have us a good time. We're gonna let these other crazy late boys get in here. We were just setting up some stuff to make sure everything's straight.
Luke, you the Red Raiders, right?
The Red Raider. Yeah, man. You know that's what school Black went to. Don't talk bad about him now.
No. They say you doing your thing down there, Luke.
Coach, I'm trying to do something, Coach. I'm trying to do something, man.
They got a nice little principal over there. I know that. Oh,
you feel that?
Yeah.
So what happened to Ed, Luke?
Who that?
What happened to Ed?
Ed, which is interesting. Ed hit me up and said University of Miami told him he couldn't get on since he was working there. And it's
all right.
It's a high school coach. I'm like, oh, that's some bullshit.
All right.
Calling everybody up. You know, that he told me that at the last minute, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, Blake told his ass.
Yeah, hey Dan, they saw you on here. So what ended up happening? They said, "Oh shit, this shit gonna be crazy."
No, they thought I was gonna say something about that interview.
Mute.
Early, hey, how's that podcast coming?
Hey, you know what? I stopped doing it.
What's that?
I stopped doing it. I haven't done it in about a year now.
Doing it, all right.
No, I haven't done it. I had to get a job, bro. I had to get a real job.
I hear you, bro. I hear you, man.
Don Juan.
That's probably on the boat, right?
Love it, Don.
What up, Hurley?
Hello, EJ.
EJ, there you go.
Hey, Hurley.
Yo.
You know, online I saw a little Buchholz versus Merritt Island. I checked it out. Get me in the back one good time, boy. I still owe you for that, boy.
I'm surprised you didn't commit suicide after watching that.
Hey, man. Hey, that was. Hey, man. I did a little good something in that game, boy.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I came down there.
I'm surprised you kept your scholarship.
Hello.
Well,
336.
You almost lost your scholarship.
Yeah, please.
336.
was something here that I was part of, and it continued with all the great players. And, you know, these younger players that came along continue to make it even better, even more dynamic. And it grew into a brand that very few can replicate.
You know, I got to tell you, man, when we were doing that stuff in the 80s, to see what these guys did in 2000 and the 1990s, unbelievable, man. I mean, to see Reggie and all them dudes do, you know, when you had Mel Bratton and all them dudes in the backfield and Michael Irvin, Blades, and all them guys, I didn't think, man, these guys could continue it, but they did. And at some points, they even made it better, dude. It was pretty amazing to watch. We were doing to see what these guys did.
Hey, Dan, let me ask you a question. How was it playing with Jerome Brown back in the days?
I miss that dude every month. He was one of the greatest people to be around. I went to Brooksville a bunch of times, and now I figured out why he wore 98, because there was a Highway 98 that went through Brooksville, and he said, I love my city so much that he just loved it. I mean, playing next to him, man, I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to play like him. I wanted to talk shit like him. That's why when we were putting that image out there the way we did, I took my cues from him. That dude, without a doubt, he would be today in football terms Charles Barkley, because that dude was just amazing. I saw that motherfucker tear up Oklahoma once, man, and he just beat the shit out of an entire football team. I was there, and it was really remarkable to play next to him. I'll never forget, Luke, when we said goodbye to him, one of the greatest things, guys, what was so cool was that when we went to Jerome Brown's funeral, my wife went with me, and everybody was like crying. We all took our ties off when we said goodbye to Jerome. All the Eagle guys, you know, Chris Carter and Reggie White, all the Kings guys. It was really tough, man. What a wonderful life he lived, and what great parents, man. It was really something to be around him. And the story of Jerome Brown is incredible.
Mama.
That's what's up. Smith, you played with Jerome Brown, right?
Oh yeah, we came in together as freshmen, man. And you know, the thing about Jerome was that you didn't piss him off, because if you pissed him off during practice, you weren't going to get any plays off at 9-on-7. They just say, okay, let's stop it. Let's go to something else. Jerome pissed off today or something. So, I mean, he was a dominant player, man. But he was a great person, a ultimate warrior. He wanted to be the first off the bus, and he wanted to be the first. And I don't think Jerome was scared of anything. I mean, Jerome was that guy.
Hurley, you was on the same team, right?
Let me ask you guys this, man. When we did our inside drill, and Highsmith and me and Jerome and Benny Blades and all these dudes are going after one another, man. I mean, there's Brat and we're going full gear. Did those guys carry that on? Did you guys carry that on with 9-on-7, where it was one-on-ones all the time?
Of course we did. Yeah. That's what we were taught, though, Sills.
Yeah.
We were taught that by coming down there, watching Lonzo, watching Melvin, watching those guys. And man, that was the only way we knew how to do it.
You know, and I'm going to say this, you know, as the years went by at the University of Miami, you know, I had to learn to play running back. I played player of the year in the state of Florida twice as a linebacker. I had to learn to play linebacker, and over the years, watching out of Miami, Frank Gore, Darnell Bennett, and all these guys, I used to say to myself, okay, that's what real running backs look like. I said, these guys were good, man. I used to be so proud watching Edgerrin James and Portis and all these guys. I never forget watching Edgerrin James against UCLA go for 200 and something yards, and you know, you're bragging to people going, watch this kid. I would go back. It felt so honored that people would come up to me and say, hey, man, who's that running back there? Hey, who's this running back? Scouts still brag about going to University of Miami when they'd watch one-on-ones, and Miami's best players went up against their best defensive back. And you're watching Andre Johnson go up against Roll. You're watching all these great players go up against each other one-on-one and challenge each other. And they didn't think nothing of it. It was nothing. I mean, you're looking at one of the best players going in the Hall of Fame, and he's taking every rep.
Coach
So there was a lot of great players that did a lot of great things to extend what Miami was able to accomplish.
Hey, we got to stop. Coach Solinger has entered the building.
No way.
What up, Coach?
Hey, Coach, you on mute. You gotta get you on mute. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Now he old. He don't know.
Coach Solinger.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, Lamar.
Coach Sol.
Coach Solinger.
How you doing? Hey, Dan. Dan Silvio.
I need to do the volume.
Dude, wait, we can't get on this thing. I'm not tech savvy, man.
You good right now, Coach?
I'm good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm good.
How you doing, man?
You got everybody on there.
Hey, Don, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I just talked to Art. I mean, I just sent a thing to Art. Art's
great.
Good. He's up in Pennsylvania with his sister, and he's doing real well. Some weight, he gained a lot of weight, but he's doing good. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Don, I got to tell you this story, man. So get this. So Art calls me one day. I won't name any names. You'll figure it out. Let me tell you something. Some piece of shit called me in his office and told me they were going in a different direction. I put some of the greatest running backs in the history of football. Who the fuck is you? Is it true or not?
Hey, take a look at them here. Take a look at these guys. These guys, that's the 2,000 room.
Oh, man. Dude, look at that. Coach Solly in there. So, what's up?
Nothing. How you doing, man?
Hey, I like that post in the background. I see in your picture, man.
That's you, bro. Right? You see it? I got it right there.
Evil eyes.
You gotta come to Canton, Solly. Look at their letters.
A little picture of McGahee.
Hey, how many Hall of Famers we got on this thing? One, Reggie Wayne.
I ain't there yet. Don't put me there yet now. I get
Hey.
Reggie.
In a short amount of time, Miami's caught up with
I
them.
got back here. Where is that? I got Ed covered up by an ironing board.
I'm going to get another picture. He's good. Hey, Coach. Coach Solinger, let me ask you a question. Which one of these guys, you got Frank on here, you got EJ on here. Who else is on here? Which one, Donnell, which one of these guys gave you the biggest headache? Who was the headache out of the group?
There weren't too many headaches, I'll tell you that right now. Even EJ never talked to me, so he didn't talk to me for a year.
You know when you are a freshman, you know you're supposed to be playing, and you got to sit on that bench. Ain't much to talk about.
Hey, Don, come on, man. Hey, Don, it was Mel Bratton. Come on, man.
Well, Joe coached Mel. Alonzo, Brodsky did. I was coaching tight ends, man.
Hey, Frank was telling me a story the other day when he came to the University of Miami, got put on the bench. I'm gonna let Frank tell a story. Frank, tell us the story when Coach CJ rescued you from going to Ole Miss.
Well, yeah, I committed to Ole Miss. And it was like the night before signing day. Coach CJ was like, he came to my house. I was outside with my homeboys. They was like, man, you must be scared of competition, man. You know what I'm saying? He said I was scared of Porter. I was scared of McGahee. But I was thinking, shit, I want to go. I could go play right away. I get 3 years and I'm gone. And when CJ came to and he came to my crib, I was like, hey, you should go to competition. And Miami was the only school I might have ran because all the guys got home. And I'm like, man, how the fuck? I'm the best back in Miami, one of the top guys in the nation. I'm like, man, if I go to Miami, I'm not redshirt, man. So I told Coach Saul, man, hey, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to go play and shit. The best thing that happened to me though, when Portis went down like in training camp for a week, I got a chance to go up against the ones and twos. And shit, I was just holding that bitch.
12 people.
Hey.
Yes, mommy.
I'm trying. The world.
It was epic. It was epic. Like it's be plenty of times when we're doing our one-on-ones and the rest of practice stop and just watch our one-on-one battles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Everybody just watching, man. That shit was a movie.
Man, NFL. I've been scouting. I've been in the NFL with personnel side for 23 years, and I still have old scouts come and tell me about Reggie Wayne in practice, Andre Johnson, all these guys, how they practice. And the greatest thing the thing I really liked was when I talked to NFL scouts who used to go to Miami, they tell me everything I ever want to know about a player, I just go watch Miami practice.
Yeah.
That's all I had to do. He said they're getting ready to play the biggest game of the year. Shit, on Thursday, they're having a knockout drag out on the field. I didn't know they were playing. I thought they were going to play. And I'm going to just tell you this. I thought I was a pretty good running back. Not, shit, they trying to knock the shit out of me in practice. I thought you were supposed to be a good running back.
Yeah.
Shit. Hey, they over there yelling about drag him to the ground, game tackle him. I say, hey, man, don't I got to play Saturday? Oh, we can get somebody else in there.
Hey, Lou, check this out. And Don, you know this too. So don't let that smile ever fool you about Highsmith. So Highsmith walks to the center of the field. Brian Bosworth's on the other side. We're standing behind. He's got Jerome next to him and my homie Winston Moss. And I hear Alonzo go, fuck you, bitch. We ain't afraid of you. Fuck you, bitch. And we ain't shaking your hand. On national television, we don't shake your hand to start the game, and the rest threw a 15-yard penalty. Am I right, Don? They threw a 15-yard penalty on him. Because we wouldn't shake the fucking hand.
Wait a minute, Joe, tell them about Oklahoma. When we went to Oklahoma, where did we run?
Right through the fucking with the Buddhist thing.
Nuts.
Hey, so Oklahoma's never lost a home game. Opening day, Jimmy Johnson's he nervous. Oklahoma's Oklahoma. And Jerome and all of us on the bus was like, man, you can't play with us. We get off the bus, Oklahoma warming up in the end zone. Jerome says, you know what we're finna do, boys? We're gonna run right through the exercises. Man, they pushed them on the ground. Oklahoma players were crying. Nobody does this to us in our home. I was like, that was wild stuff, man. I kind of think it personified the University of Miami, and it set a tone for a long time. The thing about today, we got a lot of good players, great players in here. Man, there's a lot of great players out there. And I wish to be on this tonight.
These Starks in the building, ladies and gentlemen. These Starks that came in here.
I like that backdrop, though.
Oh, damn. Look at that, man.
These Starks.
I like that backdrop, though.
Holy shit, man. Hey, money.
Dang, bro.
Hey, man.
Hey, Reggie. So, did CJ really abuse you? Because that's what everybody want to know. The world want to know. Did CJ really abuse you? Or did he, what did he do to make you
CJ, which was our receiver coach, which is now currently the receiver coach for the New Orleans Saints, he didn't abuse us. But what he did was he keep it real. One thing about CJ that we respected, whatever we told CJ, he didn't take it personal. CJ can curse us out, we can curse him back out. We'll have we have a 3-minute, you know, fuck you battles going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then as soon as we get through, he'd be like, all right, let's go to the cafe and get something to eat. So what he did, he treated us like men. And one thing you respected about CJ was he was going to play the best dude. It didn't matter if you was a freshman, junior, senior. If he thought you was the best guy, then he was going to put you in the field. And we already knew what it was, that once you get your chance, you can't mess up. You know what I'm saying? So he threw us out there, but he, you know, he was tough. CJ taught me everything I know to this day. So when I was in the league for 14 years, it was everything that CJ taught me. I just told my receiver coaches in the league, just put me up. I'm already good. Just don't mess up.
Hey, look.
And that's what that was.
That's crazy. Hey, Lamar, who was your receiver coach?
Tito.
Well, it was Hubbard Alexander when I first got there as a freshman. So, you know, he would always, with that voice, oh boy, you got to do some things, and you got to get better. You got to get in that weight room. And I said, Cole, I don't really know about that weight room. That's kind of scary to me. But you know, he was like, well, you might not play here. And then when he saw me out there catching that thing, putting my nuts on people's helmets, he was like, boy, you might have something. You might have something, boy. You might be all right. So, and then I had Bob Burkowski and Rich Olson, you know. But really, you know, I love those guys, but really we learn from each other, man. We learn from the workouts during the summer where guys come back to Brian Blaze, Mike Irvin, Dale, all them guys would come back. Randall, you know, all those guys, you learn so much during the summer from competition. And a lot of stuff those guys, they couldn't even teach us. It's just stuff that we learn from each other and the competition during the summer. And like Reggie said, the one-on-one battles were epic at all times. I mean, yeah, people losing weekend money on one-on-one battles. Sometimes you couldn't even eat for the weekend because you lost your money. But we were putting it on the line because we knew how important those practices were. And, you know, you didn't, like Reggie said, you did not want to be hurt. Because if you were hurt, you might not get your position back. And I had a guy behind me named Kevin Williams, and I sprained my ankle on my first touchdown catch against San Jose State when they told me I was going to have to sit out against Florida State. I said, you shitting me? You better DMS on that thing, tape it up. I can't let Kevin Williams get on the field. Yeah, no, he running 4.28. That's how it goes, man.
Hey, we forget one wide receiver, Eddie Brown, man.
Eddie Brown, baby. Eddie Brown.
Hey, man, I'm just checking in, man. I can't be on here, so I got to go. I can't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Oh, you can't say nothing back to me, so look here. I love y'all, Canes, man. Do this shit. I'm on Facebook watching. Y'all represented right. I already know there's only one university in Miami. Keep doing what we do. Love y'all. Coach Saul. Love you, man. All you.
Come on, man. There's your picture back there on the wall.
Let me tell you, Ed is y'all know Ed working for the school, so because he's working for the school, he can't be on here with us. And then because I coach high school, so they
all the rules on Luke.
They got all kind of rules. I mean, shit. Hey, I'm gonna text Ed in about 30, 40 minutes. I'm gonna get my ass off and let him get on and let y'all do what y'all do.
Alonzo, we're doing this party right now, but how about the parties that Luke would put on at the Fountain Blue, the top 2 floors, and then
No, you can't tell those parties. No.
Okay.
That invitation might not still be.
Me? I want to do that.
Hey, Don, you didn't hear that.
Hey, all I know is you guys won a lot of games, bro. That's what I know. I don't know what you did, but it worked.
I will say this, though. There was something that Kobe Bryant said when he talked to the Cleveland Browns I thought was interesting. We always had this kind of motto that, you know, if you're going to go out and party, you can go out and party. You better have your up the next day ready to work out. Do your thing. You know,
Yeah.
Always tell young guys this. It's all right to party and have fun and have a good time, but remember what your number one goal is. Remember why you're here, you know? And that was one of the things we did because nobody did it better than Darren Fulton.
Wait. Hey, Lonzo. Lonzo, how about Stubby, man? Stubby, you look over at Danny Stubbs and you go, dog, have you been back to your dorm yet? It Stubbs be like, oh, let's get we're gonna get the hell out of here. Fuck you. Let's go.
No, that's when I'm drinking my big.
One thing about us, when we partied, we all partied together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We all went out together. We partied together. So it was we held each other accountable. Like if you're gonna go out tonight, you better make sure your ass is up in the morning at that weight room time. Because if you was late or you was messing up in the weight room or you wasn't making your 110s or whatever it is we was doing, or we was waiting on you in the locker room. So one thing we did, we held each other accountable. No matter if we stayed out to 5, 6, bro, I ain't gonna lie. It was a couple times when we left straight from the club and went straight to workout.
Hey, Reggie, you see Last Dance with Jordan? That's a lot of the stuff you guys did.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Just like Jordan, man.
Yeah, we did the
Held
same
other, put each other, held each other accountable. That's the name of the game, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Don, wait a minute. How about seeing Coach Stevens walk down the hallway at the coaches meeting on a fucking Sunday going, oh, man.
Hey, speaking of Ed Reed, since he can't be on here, now y'all got to tell us a great Ed Reed story that nobody knows. One of those epic battles with him.
Let y'all tell. I got a lot of Ed Reed stories, but you gotta pay me for that shit.
Come on, these dogs.
What up, fellas?
No. Write that in the book. Write that in the book. Keep that in the book.
Yeah, I got a ton of Ed Reed stories, but they ain't for free. Hey, I had to deal with that shit for 4 years, man. That was my roommate for 4 years. We went
no. We don't want this
shit with each other. So that shit there, you gotta.
Hey, Red. Talk about the light bill. The light bill.
I can tell y'all the light bill story. So a lot of people know this, but me and Ed, when we moved off campus, we stayed in the apartment together. We had our bills that we had to pay. He was in charge of that fucking light bill. I come from practice, we go to the caf, get something to eat, go back to the apartment, walk through the door, flip the switch. The damn lights ain't coming on. So I'm like, motherfucker, I ain't paid the bill again. Right? So we just sit in there. I'm sitting in there waiting on him to walk through the door. So he walks through the door, he flips the switch, and I can hear him say, damn. Right? So he walks through the apartment. He see me sitting up there in the dark. So he sit up there. He said, "Damn, bro, my bad." So I'm like, "Bro, we don't have no damn lights. Well, where we gonna go?" So he sit up there and said, "Man, if you don't go nowhere, I ain't gonna go nowhere." You know what I'm saying? So we lighting fucking candles in there. We in there, talking stories and talking about. We basically took that whole night. And just talking about like our dreams about making it to the NFL and all that kind of stuff. And man, we sat up for hours in the pitch freaking dark in the hotel. In the apartment. And I swear, man, like we end up falling asleep. We both fall asleep in a little den area. Man, as soon as I opened my eyes, he was over there asleep. I went and hit him, nudged him, said, "Man, get your ass up and go pay the light bill." But that is like, one thing about it was, I love about it, like, he didn't bail on me and I didn't bail on him. We both just sat up there in the dark and we just visualized ourselves playing. So like whenever I faced him in the league, I remember like the first time I faced him in the league, and we both just started laughing. You know what I mean? Because we know about all the stuff that we went through as teammates, as roommates, and that's what made all that shit special. That's what made it sweet. You know what I mean? So like, great friend, great brother, great roommate, great teammate. That's why, you know, everything that he got, man, he deserved.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Bennett, you got to tell us one of them great Hurricane stories, Bennett.
Bro, like everybody been saying, man, when I got there, bro, I was big man on campus, coming in, thinking I'm going to play early, man, and that defense, man, when we went down there to 907, bro, like the first day, I said to myself, man, I should have went to Illinois, man, or somewhere like that, man. Not to talk down on nobody, nothing like that. But, bro, it was brutal, man. But what happened was when I got in the locker room one day, sitting in my locker, one of the vets walked by and said, bro, you're going to be all right. And from that approval, that's where everything started going downhill. You got the acceptance, man. And then, you know, safety, the hurling them guys, teeing off on us in 7-on-7. Then they reach their hand down and pull you up, man. And then you start to learn how to practice the same way they practicing. And, bro, from that point on, like, it was, the games were easy to me, man.
Absolutely.
But the way we practice every single day, the way we practice, I remember being in games and Gino saying, Donnell, this guy's getting ready to do this or whatever the case is, and exactly what it said, exactly what happened, man. Because it was so, we played so much faster than everybody.
You know, you guys say that it's interesting because being in the NFL the last 23 years and listening to the stories from scouts and what they think about the University of Miami is they used to tell me we always want a Miami player on our team. One thing about those kids down there, they ain't scared of nothing and the stage ain't too big for them, and they love to practice. That was what people thought about the University of Miami. They said, you get one of those kids, you can throw him out there the biggest stage. He's been playing in the parks of Miami. He played at Miami, wherever he came from, and he's been playing against the best players in football his 4 years in college. So coming to the pros, this ain't nothing to him. You know,
Hey, but you know how you know it wasn't for everybody. Now we had a lot of guys transferred that couldn't handle it. You know, from whatever went on when they first got there, it was a test to see if you could handle it. And a lot of guys could not handle being a Hurricane because it was tough, man.
I'm gonna give you guys this. And I'm always arguing with other players around the league and players in the locker room about this. I always tell you this. I told Marcus Allen, line up USC's greatest running backs. I told Marcus Allen, you be third team. Like that. I said, you wasn't the Heisman, but you'd have been third. You'd have been behind Edgerrin James, Portis, O.J. Anderson.
He would have transferred, huh?
He would have transferred. Look at the receivers. Take your all-time great teams from colleges around America. I can give you 5 receivers that you can't even crack the lineup.
Bro, I hit him with this one. Anytime I get in an argument about it, just like you say, you tell me the one guy from your school, and I'm gonna name the 5 guys from my school. And that is the conversation. And then they start on it too. And I say, you really want to go there?
Yeah.
Can't go receiver. You can't go running back. You can't go nowhere. Like, where can you go? You can't go linebacker. Can't go defensive tackle.
Can't go safety.
Hey, Hey, Donnell, when I recruited, and you can ask Lamar this, you know, I never kissed anybody's ass. Man. I thought, if you want to compete, bro, come on to Miami. If you don't want to compete, don't come.
Yeah.
That's true. It hurt the same way. You know, if you don't want to compete, you ain't going to make it at our place. I told Frankie that too.
He was the only coach.
Hey, Don, do you agree that one of the most remarkable careers ever to come out of the University of Miami, and I hope Frank Gore's still on here, is Frank's career? I mean, for a guy that had all those injuries in college, and for him to be the 3rd all-time leading running back in pro football history is fucking unbelievable.
It's an amazing career.
Yep. He's amazing, man. I saw him play in high school, saw him play. I remember looking at him, and I'll never forget this. Scott McLuhan called me from the 49ers. He said, hey, Alonzo, I need you to help me out. I said, what? because I want to take Frank Gore. I told him, I'm going to tell you something. You're crazy if you don't take him. The kid's going to make
and he's special, I'll tell you that.
49.
D Stocks, you got to tell us some of them great stories, D Stocks. From your era. You there, Stocks? Is Stocks there? He on mute. He's on pause.
Yeah. Hey, Coach Saul.
Yeah.
What's up, baby? How you doing?
Good, Hurley.
Hey, you on the other side of it. You on the coaching side of it. You were there for a long time.
Yep.
Tell us what those meetings were like when that thing really started to turn, when Alonzo them got there.
Well, when it started with Alonzo, you know, when I first got there,
yeah,
I tell you what, that was, when I first got there, it was unusual. It was really unusual for me. Those guys, everything they did from running inside, they were just they were on each other's ass all the time, man. Unbelievable competition. When we went inside Alonzo this, we go inside run. If we picked up a yard, we'd do good. I mean,
okay, it's good.
We were going. Am I right, Lonzo?
You're right.
Guys were studs, bro. I'm talking the guys we went up were unbelievable. No, it was competitive, real competitive. It was competitive coaching. You wanted your kids to be really good. You know, I mean, if you didn't in my room, I didn't want any bullshit. Go on the field, and make sure they could do it game time.
I knew this wasn't a place for everybody because I remember. I'll never forget this.
I got this right here. The code that go on there.
Number 2 receiver in the nation, named Tony Page.
Yeah.
Boy, Mike Irvin, Brett Perriman, Brian Blades, they ran him out of here, man. They challenged him every single day. First of all, they thought he got paid a lot of money coming, man. And they ran at him.
Was it 2 weeks they ran him out? Wasn't that kid supposed to go to like 10?
A little longer than that. They made him run against them in a 40. They said he was a 4.3 fastest kid in the nation.
Oh, and they ruined him.
Mike Irvin said, "Okay, let's go race. We're gonna me and you racing after practice." Mike beat him. Brett Perriman beat him. Brian Blades beat him. Yeah. Then they started telling him, "Man, you ain't nothing." It was over.
You tell me if I'm wrong, Alonzo. Guys that came in, they measure up, man. I mean, they were challenged in the locker room. They were challenged wherever they went. If they couldn't measure up, they ain't making it at Miami.
Well,
not only on the field playing, they had to measure up at everything they did. You know,
I used to tell people, man, that locker room's rough, man. If they find a little bit of softness in the locker room, they're gonna ride you like a horse. They're going to ride you until you say, okay, I got to get out of here. So you better have some backbone to you.
Hey, I don't know if Edrin's still there. If Edrin's still there.
Check this out. Check it out, Luke. You know what? I don't know if Don knows this story as well, man, but let me say this to you, man. We're up in that team meeting room, and Alonzo High School, but Michael Irvin and George Myra are sitting up there. And let me tell you something, man. All of a sudden, they're starting to get some bitching over some music, and I'm sitting in the room, and I'm in between these two guys in that tiered thing, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, man, Mike breaks this guy's jaw, knocks his teeth out, and I'm sitting here watching this shit. When you talking about competitive, I mean, he broke his jaw and he knocked his teeth out. We picked each other up, but you know what? I'll tell you what. We were boys those two guys became closer, and it was just like brothers fighting, man. I mean, I'm sitting 2 feet from it, and they go, whose side? I go, I ain't on anybody's side. I'm on our side. That two brothers fighting as far as I'm concerned, and these guys got to straighten this shit out.
Until you've seen a Brian Blades fight and Benny Blades fight, you've seen no fight.
Hey, if you went in the locker room, there was a TV, and then the couches were like a little ring type thing.
Hey, William Joseph.
A pro scout came to me and said, "Well, what about Adrian James?" I said, "Bro, he's undefeated 2 years in the ring."
Hold on, Coach. Hold on. Coach, you telling me
right now
Coach, you telling me EJ was a fighter in the locker room?
Oh my God, EJ and
I defend myself. I know. Hey, I always know how to protect myself.
EJ and Nate Webster. Look out, scout.
Hey, EJ was the one when the guys don't make the 110s. I remember Big Sam said EJ go him and Nate Webster go in the ring and put him down, man. Put him down.
Tee him out.
Here's the number one man.
Hey, look, EJ, when you do your Hall of Fame speech, you gonna tell that story? You was the enforcer of the team, the nice guy. Everybody thought you was the nice guy. You gonna tell the story? You was the enforcer.
It's gonna be like the Michael Jordan documentary. You're gonna learn the truth.
Hey, Luke. Uncle Luke.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been around the program for a long time. And as much as our peers and our teammates held us accountable, for those who don't know, you did too. Because when we would see you out in the streets or on the sideline, we were looking for affirmation from you on whether we could play or not. And you were quick to tell us the truth. Oh man, no, you ain't do this, you ain't do that, man, you can't do this, you can't do that. So for all of those who don't know, a lot of the success that happened at the University of Miami, Uncle Luke had a lot to do with that. A lot.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Let me tell you, I tell people all the time, when I was at the height of my career, I would see the stories about, the kids. People don't know. I was the same kid back then, just like I would go and watch the games, and when I was a kid playing football on South Beach, and would get killed 70 to nothing. And I always say, man, I want my team to win. And so then fast forward to the entertainment career. I just saw young guys going down the Coral Gables, and there was a whole bunch of ruckus. So people don't really realize that they didn't want no black Coral Gables. So when I saw the guys getting the opportunity to go down there, I was like, they're wasting the opportunity because, guys going in dorm rooms taking stuff and the culture wasn't ready for that. They just weren't ready for black kids to be on the campus. And I said, let me go down there and start hollering at some of these young fellas, let them know they got the opportunity. So I established a great relationship with Jerome Brown. I had no Melvin and Baines and all them and High and everybody. And so, it was it's always a couple guys that you got to pull to the side and talk to. And so people didn't understand that relationship. It was just me telling dudes, hey, look, man, this is the opportunity you got. Take advantage of this shit, get your education and play ball and hopefully get to the next level. And so people didn't understand it. So little writers would write stories and shit, while the rapper on the sideline. And at that time, me, I'm going around the country. I got all the naked girls co-side. I got them dancing on stage. Hey,
coochie.
Hey, I would get my ticket. I'll get my sideline pass from Tuberville. If it wasn't Tuberville, it was Ed Origin.
Yeah.
I got your sideline pass. I got your. Hey, so
hey, look. Let me
sideline talk shit.
Question, Luke.
It was some hell of a story, boy.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
We went to Florida State one time, and and they were singing my songs. I did a song, "Fuck Martinez," and the state, the whole 80,000 people see me on the sideline. It was like, "Fuck Miami, fuck Miami," in the same cadence. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. But I appreciate
the greatest thing is of all these players on this thing tonight, when you think about great teams and success and all that stuff, and the thing that gets missed in all this, nothing but great guys, man. I can't tell you any bad guys at Miami. We had great guys, and you can't win with bad people.
Right.
You can't win with bad people.
We ran them dudes out, man. If you didn't fit, you weren't around us, man. We policed that to where, get this,
right.
And you didn't have to be like one another. You just had to be authentic. And everybody in our locker room was authentic with one another. Man, you know what, guys? I thought about what I might say coming on here. The safest places I've ever been in my professional life have been in a Miami Hurricane locker room and with my family, because I don't have to worry about anything in them locker rooms because they know what my intent is. You know, people write shit about loot. They write shit about, I've been in broadcasting for 26 years. They'll write anything about you, man. And you know what? I have so few friends since I left Miami. And every one of my teammates, like Highsmith said, man, I love every one of them dudes.
And I think Reggie Wayne said it best. When we were there, when you were there, Reggie, if you saw 1, you saw 4.
Yeah.
You saw 4, you saw 8.
Yeah.
You saw 8, you saw 16. It was just, that's the way it was. And you know what? I remember, I'll never forget this. Bobby Bowden told me this. He goes, how do you guys do that at Miami to get your guys to come back for a game? Because I've offered to pay for my guys to come back to our game, but it's too hard. I can't do it. Nobody did it like Miami and the NCAA. And I told this to Miami, the minute you break that bond of these players and this football team, you'll lose with everything you ever had, because we're not the USCs. We're not the LSUs. What made Miami special was the bond and the players. That's what made Miami different from any other school in the nation. And we allowed Miami allowed the NCAA to say, hey, no more former players around. You can't do this. You can't do that. And it took a little bit of away of who we were at the University of Miami. I've always felt that way.
No question.
Because our school is about bond. We don't have an $80,000, $100,000 fan base. We don't have the best facilities in the world. But what we have that nobody had, we had each other like nobody else ever had. We had each other, man. And that meant more to us than playing in front of 100,000 people and having the best facilities in the nation and having the best of everything. What we had the best of everything was each other. And you can't take that away.
And that's what make us special, because I know when we got there, our facilities were some shit.
Yeah.
They were bad. But, you know what I'm saying? But we embraced that.
Embraced it.
We took it. We was like, hey, this is what we got. We're going to take what we have and make the best of it. And we treasured that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, on my recruiting trips, I went these places, LSUs and all that stuff. They had the best facilities. It had everything that you needed. It was right there at your fingertips. Then when I went to Miami, right, I'm like, this is like third world country type shit. You know what I mean? But on my recruiting trip, and Ed Reed, who's listening, he can tell you it was 17 recruits on my recruiting trip. And one thing that Miami did that all those other recruiting trips that I went to didn't do, everybody went out together. It didn't matter if you was black, white, green, blue, it didn't matter. Everybody went out together and they went with the recruits together as a team. That was the one thing I saw that other teams didn't do. And I said, you know what? They may not have the best facilities. They may not have all this wine and dine type stuff that everybody else have, but they got each other's back. And that meant a lot to me.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, Lonzo.
Joseph, so you played with Vince Wilfork, who played a 1,000 years. I mean, both of y'all first round draft picks. I mean, how did that? We were just looking at the game the other day. How did that work out? I mean, y'all. I mean, that was incredible. An incredible game the other day that they played. But how did you guys pretty much work out together to be able to do what y'all did?
Well, Vince was really backing up Matt Walters, so every time Randy, he kept me in the rotation longer because he wanted me to be in there with Vince, you know, because when we in there together, we go ahead and you know, we make things happen. So it was kind of tough. We was too deep. We was too deep because all our guys on the line got drafted, you know. So every time somebody get tired, somebody get tired, the next guy's up. You know, McDougal, Jamal Greens, Cornelius Green, Andrew Williams, you know. We just, you know, every time when we go out, we always go out. 8 of us. We always hang out. We're always together. You know, we push one to each other, and then, you know, kept it going.
Definitely.
Because that 2001 team, that's the greatest team in the history of college football.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, baby.
Time out.
The team that lost Penn State might have been the greatest.
Yeah, but you gotta win it. You gotta win it.
You gotta win it.
I know this was coming up. Hold on, wait a minute. Lonzo. Yeah, you gotta win it. But the BCS is the one that kept us out of it.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
Hey,
they sure did.
Hey, Reg, you got a point. Hey, Reg, you got a point.
Yeah, they
Look who
danced with
played
this.
Oklahoma that year. You're right. 2000. 2000. You're right.
2000 team was a dog.
Yeah, you're right.
So what about the 86 team, Lonzo?
Hey, Alonzo, we gave up 6 first downs in that game to Penn State. We had 500 yards. They had 110. We had more turnovers than we gave up first downs in that game.
You're right
about it. A Herculean, unbelievable, incredible, something you'll never see in your life night. And I remember you standing on that step stool in that locker room going, motherfuckers, no one's ever going to tell me how great this team was.
I spent the 86 team stand up to the 2000 team.
Woo! Man, you know what?
86 could play with it.
I love history. I love these debates. And there's great players on all, but it's just something that and you can talk about it, but you'll never play each other. But man, the 2000 team, 2001, the 1986 team, man, those were some good teams, man. I tell you what, if we played Penn State 10 times,
oh God,
we beat them.
Hold on now. That team that went out there and played Texas in the Cotton Bowl.
Hey, what's up, Lane? What's up, Lane?
Big dog, what's happening?
What's up, baby?
Hey, Don Juan, what you talking about? Don Juan, you up that line. What you talking about?
Listen, bro.
Everybody know you was the beat man. Stop lying.
Bro, you're a funny dude, bro.
Hey, EJ, y'all open over there, EJ? Y'all open up over there? Y'all open or closed? Y'all still closed? It look like y'all open over there, man.
And my 30 minutes, we're going to the other room. It's a little bit better.
Hey, Lonzo.
The other room a little better. I'm coming over.
Lonzo, that team that went out to Texas and played in the Cotton Bowl?
The 90 team.
Unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, it was a great team. That team that played on that 95 team that had that Frank Costa dude throwing the pill around. That team was good too. We had so many great football.
Could you imagine a playoff system? Who would have wanted to play Miami? Nobody.
Oh my goodness.
If there was a playoff system when we were playing college football, nobody would have wanted. You'd have had a bad draw.
Hey, Hyde, do you agree? 86, 87, 2000, 2001, and some of them mid-90 teams, right? Yeah.
The 84 team was good.
Hey, Alonzo, you made a statement a while back, said that we went 25, a span of 25 years where the University of Miami had something to do indirectly or directly with who won the national championship.
Yeah. 11 years straight. We were part of the equation.
Hey, Jamal Green, how do you like playing with Israel and William Jones and the linebacker? You don't drink right now. you play with 3 Haitians. Jonathan Vilma and Joseph and Carlos Joseph.
Hey, well, first of all, it was a little different for me coming from up north. You know, I'm a Jersey boy, so when I got down south, down in Miami, I couldn't understand shit that Black or his brother was saying. it took me a couple months to figure it out. You know what I mean? once I figured it out, man, William Joseph Black, that was my man. We rode our whole time out there together, man. But I honestly couldn't understand the damn thing they were saying down there. You know, they was looking at me as the up north city slicker dude. I was looking at them like some country jokers because I ain't understand nothing they were talking about. But at the end of the day, man, I think what made us so good in 2001 was we had a lot of players that was real unselfish on the D line, at least from a defensive standpoint. You know what I mean? We came to an agreement amongst ourselves to rotate people in and out every 2 series, and that's how we stayed fresh, and that's how we was able to attack at all times. Because like William said, our first and second team, you know, we could all ball, and Vince Wilfork, when he came in as a young boy, he was just a big wild bull, man, and I love playing with those guys, man. When I went down there on my visit, coming from Jersey, you know, we had some crazy cats showing us around, like Damian Lewis and Nate, Damian Lewis, Nate Webster, and all those guys, man, and they was as crazy as I was. So I figured, I mean, I could come down here and act a fool with these clowns. When we first got down there, we almost got in a fight. You know, that was up my alley. You know, I said I could go to war with these boys.
Hey, Jamal, remember they used to take me up every motherfucking time in the locker room. I used to get taped up all the fucking time in the locker room, man.
Hey, man, they used to try you, man. They tried you and Howard Clark all the time, man.
Hey, Uncle Luke.
Yo,
we're gonna put you on the spot, bro. Being on the outside and being on the inside, looking at all the teams, which team you think was the best?
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Hard to say, bro.
Don't do that to me. Look at Reggie smoking a cigar. Ready to start smoking high.
The world wants to know that.
Shit. That shit ain't easy. Because you got 2000, and then you got 2001, then you got 86. That shit hardcore. So hey, look, leave me out of there. No, leave me out of there. Please.
Bro, how y'all keep forgetting them
ask Coach Solinger.
91 teams?
Yeah.
Coach
Solinger, what you think, Solinger?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I mean, it's hard to. It's like trying to say, everybody asks me who's the best running backs. It's hard to pick a running back.
You ain't lying.
Something a little bit different, and it's same way with the teams. When I first got there, that 86 team was unbelievable. I mean, defensively, that was one of the best teams I've ever seen. They were good, really good defensively. Offensively, they were good too. I mean, they had the Blades, Brian, they had Mike, they had Vinny, I mean, Alonzo, Mel was there, they had Warren Williams. I mean, it was a good football team.
Cleveland Gary was there.
Oh.
Cleveland had them.
It was a new scheme. Huh?
I said Cleveland had them contacts in his eyes when he came to school.
Contacts.
Listen, and I think that 91 Miami Florida State game, I think it was like 22 or 23 guys that went on to the NFL and played in 7 or more years.
Yeah.
Hey, but Donnell, if you go back to the 86 team and you count the team picture, you look at the team picture and you count the guys that played in the National Football League, there's 64.
Wow.
From the 86 team.
Well,
There's
shit,
64 guys.
Y'all gonna make me Google. Y'all gonna make me Google 2000 goddamn team picture because we had some guys too.
Oh, y'all, hey.
I think everybody played that team.
Yeah.
The team was the thing that I loved about those 2000, 2001 teams. I loved what William said. One thing we didn't do, William, was that because we did what Reggie did. Man, you didn't want to give your job up, dude. You didn't want to give reps up to someone because I had Russell Maryland and Cortez Kennedy and all these motherfuckers behind me, and I'm going like this. I'm not giving up any motherfucking plays. I'm going 75 plays a game, and so was Jerome, and so was Stubbs, and so was Hawkins and Bacon. We were all – man, you didn't want to give it up because you were afraid, and that's what I love about your team. You guys came in with an understanding on rotation. That's probably why you guys were a lot more fresher and later in the games. beat the shit out of teams.
Made us better.
But let me tell
That's
you
how
how
I got my job, because Bobby Harden got hurt. Bobby Harden got hurt up there at Notre Dame, and I was sitting there salivating. I couldn't wait to get in. So for the national championship game in '89, Coach Luby came to me right before the game and said, "Hurley, is it okay if Bobby Harden gets some playing time?" Yeah, Coach, I got 2 more years. I'm good.
Hey,
That's how I got my job.
I'm gonna tell you how I started hanging out. Because I wanted to know what the rest of the running backs was doing. So every time they went out, I want to see exactly what they're doing. So when I get back, I know what I need to do. I wanted to know, and then I used to think they were spying on me. When they wanted to come and be around me, I used to think they were spying on me. And every day, anytime, I learned that from you, Lamar. I think I learned that from you. Anytime somebody's sleeping, somebody working.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I tell this story all the time, right? So with CJ, our receiver coach, right? He gave us our own rotation. So it was me, Santana Moss. He was the other star, that receiver, right? So we had our own rotation. We play in West Virginia. I catch a curl route. A linebacker and the corner tackle me. I hurt my ankle. So I get up, I'm limping. So they all like, Reggie, come out. I say, who, me? They're like, yeah, come hurt. Like, hell no. They got a baby Andre Johnson that's on the bench that's sobbing at the mouth to get in there. I'd be damned if I let him get in here, because if I let him get in here, I ain't getting back in. So I played the rest of that game limping. So that's what it was. Like, bro, like it was me, Santana, a baby Andre Johnson. We had Jeremy Shockey. We had Najee Davenport, Clint Portis, James Jackson. Like that ball was scarce. Like it was scarce. So like when you had your chance, you're like, damn, Reggie, when I got in the league, they're like, man, you catch everything. Like, boy, you catch all. I said, you know why? Because when I was in college, if I drop a pass, I don't know when I'm gonna get another one. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you get your chance, you had to make the best of it.
I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. You guys are young. Remember
Big Mac in the building. Big Mac is here, ladies and gentlemen. There goes CP. Oh baby, we got them all.
But I'm gonna tell you something. There were so many great athletes nobody knows about, because to this day, Andre Johnson, Reggie Wayne, Clinton Portis, all these great athletes we're talking about. Reggie Sutton's the greatest athlete that didn't come to the University of Miami. Wow. And I can tell you the story about Reggie Sutton. He was a wishbone quarterback at Killian High School, came to Miami, was a starting corner the week before the first game his freshman year. He was a starting receiver. Somebody got hurt. They moved him to corner. He went on to become an All-American corner his freshman year.
I need a plug.
Hey,
Gator. Circumstances, some instances that happened to him, he ended up not playing. But he was so good, he sat out of football 2 years, got drafted by the New Orleans Saints, became all rookie as a rookie. Then 3 years again later, the Dolphins brought him in for a workout. He ran 4.4 on grass. They signed him. Then his demons got him again. Reggie Sutton could have been
Deion
Sanders, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson. He could throw a football 80 yards. He could run 4.3, 4.4. It didn't matter.
We all had
guys like that.
I thought it was 4.3 on grass.
Hey, Gator. Hey, I got one guy. You talk about him. We had a boy in there, Tremaine Mack.
Yeah.
Now that boy right there,
one of the best athletes I've seen.
I remember him. He missed all of damn night off-season conditioning. He came out there, ran a 4.4 on the turf. He triple jumping one indoor. He's long jumper. He's a 2-foot jump for 24.5 and a half. 2 feet jump. Jermaine Mack, he was up there with me now.
I heard about him.
Yeah, me too.
Man was a beast.
Hey, we got to introduce Clinton Portis in the building.
Uh-oh.
Clinton,
you on mute.
You on mute.
Take your thing off mute.
CP, you got to get off mute, CP.
Big Mac, take it off mute.
Y'all ready?
I'm off.
Mac, what's good?
What's poppin', CP?
Yeah, I'm cool.
CP, tell us some of them great stories. Tell some of them battles. We got Coach Solinger on here. He was telling us.
Honey! So, what's up, baby? Hey, listen, you talking about athlete, man. One of the best athletes to come out of the University of Miami was Philip Buchanan. People don't talk about it. People don't say nothing. But I saw Phil cover Santana and Reggie Wayne in the slot. And to be able to do that, you got to be a hell of an athlete. Baseball, track, basketball, football, he could do it all. So,
hey,
and it was my roommate.
I seen Phil Buchanan run down Adrian Peterson when he was in Detroit, and I was in Minnesota, and I was like,
hey, Phil, hands down, coming out of Old Fort Myers, one of the best athletes to ever come through the University of Miami. I don't even think Phil knew he was that talented.
Hey, the great thing about Miami, so as many Hall of Famers we've got, some players, and Clinton Portis and all these guys. Well, we got some guys nobody know about that things just didn't work out for them.
Tim Sims, Darius Frazier,
Jason Gathers.
Yeah, Jason
Wow.
Hey,
William Brian McKinney.
Hey, how good would have Eric Curry been if he had lasted? And I love that kid when he transferred down to Miami, man.
Dane Curry.
Yeah, man, he was such a good kid when he came down there, man. Just really, we had and hey, think of this too. We'd have 2 more Hall of Famers going in, and Sean Taylor and Jerome Brown, if those 2 guys had fulfilled their destinies too. I mean, like you said, man, we've had so many people. It's such an honor, man, to be involved with every one of these fucking guys and to be part of this thing like this. It really is. When people say it's a Canes thing, they think it's something that is written on a t-shirt. Bro, if you've never been in our locker room, you will never understand that, because it's about like where we came from, our journeys to get to the University of Miami. Dude, Miami picked us, it almost seems.
Hey, Big Mac, tell me about Art Keough.
Art Keough, he was a great coach for us. Him and actually Mario Cristobal. Cristobal played a great part as well. So Coach Keough kind of gave you all the tools and all the drills. But I'm gonna say, for me and like Vernon Carey, Mario Cristobal would pull us aside, and back then he would try to put you on, eating oatmeal and hard-boiled eggs, getting your weight right. But we didn't want to hear that. We were 19, 20 years old, but we understand it now. But he was the person who really, when I had to go against like Jamal Reynolds and stuff like that, he would sit down and do extra film with me and kind of break things down and show me what this person is doing. And I would kind of look to see what the offensive lineman might have been doing wrong and things like that. And he would help me really understand some of these pass rushers. So, but I think those 2 together were really great. And the fact that Mario Cristobal, he played, he went and played different level as well. He was kind of training me to like think ahead a little bit and be more than just a college player, but become a pro.
Hey, Portis. So Frank was on here earlier. Frank told us a story about you would tell him, hey, I'm gonna go get me 100, and you go out there and I'm gonna let you come in and you get 100. he swear by. He's like, yo, the best thing ever happened to me. I came to Miami, but Clinton Portis is the realest motherfucker I ever know. I mean, Frank just like swear by you. He was telling me in Black the same thing the other night. Tell us that story.
Hey man, you know what? Frank came in so eager. First off, shout out to Frank for what he's doing. Still running that ball, still in the league, still getting them checks. So shout out to Frank. But man, Frank came in so hungry and humble. You know what I mean? And he was just eating everything up. So Frank and Roscoe, them was my boys. Them was my young boys. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I used to tell Coach Saul, and Coach Saul didn't even want. I'm telling Coach Saul, man, when I get 100 yards, take me out of the game. Put Frank in, put Willis in. I didn't care who he was playing. Once I go over 100, the game is already over. So if we up 2 touchdowns, nobody coming back. You know what I mean? So it was just one of those situations. And we had, I think it was West Virginia game, and this is when Coach Saul finally let up. We was playing West Virginia, Frank freshman year, and we're on the sideline. I had 100. I think I had like 9.8 yards of carry or something. So I tell Frank, I said, man, come stand. I said, come stand right behind me. You going in? And he was like, man, coach gonna say something. I said, watch this. So I stepped on the back of my shoe and I bent over in front of Coach Saul. I was like, Frank, go in. Frank go in, and that's when he had to run. It's on all his highlights where he got the run coming through against West Virginia. After that, Coach Saul said, I know what you guys are up to. Like, Coach, he might as well say it now. He can hold it down. He just kind of got to the point where I would look at Frank on the sideline like, bro, be ready. I'm about to come out. He come in and do his thing.
Coach Saul, you remember them? You remember them boys playing games on you?
Yeah.
Coach
Saul had a bathroom break, man.
No. Difficulty.
Hey, what's up?
The computer went out.
Coach, what's going on, man?
Yeah, no, we had a good time, man. No, Clinton says, hey, you're holding me back, bro. You got to play me. I can't hold you back too much,
I remember Coach Soldier telling me when I was at Miami one day, telling me, he goes,
hey, Luke, Coach Saul came to my high school to recruit me, right? The first day he come in, I throw him my tape. He say, what is this, bro? I said, that's my check this out, bro. If you didn't want to come to the University of Miami, I'll recruit your ass. If you don't, I'll go recruit somebody else. I don't even waste my time. And walk out. This is your introduction to me. I'm like, man, that's the realest coach ever. And probably like 2 weeks later, I'm on the phone with Coach Saul. Ricky Williams was burning it up. Coach Saul telling me about EJ. Oh, no, Edge is solid. Edge is this, Edge is that. I said, man, he said, listen, Edge is going to go before Ricky Williams. I said, no way in hell. Edge went before Ricky Williams. Coach Saul told me that months before it even happened.
Oh, you ain't believe in me, Portis?
I believe in you. Hell no, I didn't believe in you.
I got reprimanded by the Packers one of my first few years scouting because when Edgerrin was coming out, some reporter I was walking by the combine and said, who's the best player in the draft? I said, Edgerrin James. Kept walking. The next day in the paper, they said, Green Bay Packers hot scout. One time says, Edgerrin James is the best player in the draft.
The question was early, what was the best team?
Ooh.
2001,
2000 came, Reggie Santana.
Yeah, 2000.
Dan Morgan. 2000.
Tell him again, Big Mac. Tell him again, Portis.
2000.
Hold on, man. I gotta fill my cup up. Wait a minute.
2001.
Listen, 2000, man. 2000 had that work on it.
Y'all a little bit too young to know about that 86 team, though.
Hey,
y'all young boy.
Hey, 86 team, and there was some dogs. Trust me, there was some dogs. I know that. Hey, but that 2000, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah, 2000. There's a story about you, how you used to antagonize Willis. I used to sit over there and wait till Willis get out the game. Hey, dog, how many yards you had? Hey. Man, that ain't nothing. I'm finna go ahead and get 8.
James Jackson did it to me. James Jackson did it to me. Coach Saul allowed James to do it to me. James Jackson, first game of my career, Ohio State Meadowlands. James Jackson come to me and say, ACP, I bet you $100 I break a 50-yard run within the first carry. I said, no way in hell. Second carry, boom, 59 yards.
I gotta go to the party.
Say, you ain't never had no big run like that. Yours was all 10 to 15 yards, but they added.
Hey, Coach Solinger. Hey, listen. Here's one for you. So every once in a while, we'd always see Warren Williams starting over Mel Bratton, and I'd see Mel would get 100 yards against Florida. Then the next week, Warren Williams is starting. I look over at High and I start doing, what's going on, man? He goes, he gives me less shit. He gives me less crap. This guy right here, that's why you ain't starting. Come on, Don.
We got a quarantine party. Quarantine party.
Oh my God.
Social distancing.
Oh my God.
DJ out of control.
What was that like in that room with all of those great backs?
Huh?
What was it like in that room with all of those great backs? You had Edrin James, Clint Porter.
I loved it. I loved it.
Hey, he was a better coach.
Hey, he never said anything, and the rest of those guys, none of them said anything. I try to teach them as much football as I can. They went out and balled, man.
Hey, you know what? You know what the old running backs coach told me about Bo Jackson? He said Bo Jackson's freshman year. He said I was over there coaching, and Pat Dye was running towards me. He said, "Boy, if you try to coach him, I'll make sure you never coach again in college football. You leave him alone. Go coach someone else."
So my first game, I was coaching inside linebackers, the kickoff classic. Bo Jackson, Tommy A.G., and Brent Fullwood were the backs in the wishbone. That was his first game. We beat him 20-18 in that kickoff classic game.
Hey, Bo ain't never outrushed me in his career.
Hey, Lonzo, Luke, look here, quick story. This how I knew Coach Saul was OG. In bad practice, Coach Davis blow the whistle. Tell everybody to get the F off the field. So the offense try to go to the other field and keep practicing. He blow the whistle again. Get the F off the field. All the players start jogging off. He blow the whistle a third time. Say the coaches too, run. Don't walk off the field. All the coaches take off running. Coach Saul walking. So I'm walking, talking to Coach Saul. Coach Saul walking, turn around. Hey, bro, I'm effing grown. My wife is rich. I don't need this shit. Turned back around and kept walking. Coach Davis looked like this man crazy. I looked like, oh man, Coach Solinger the realest coach ever.
Hey, Coach Solinger was like that. But he told me one time, when you gonna break a run for like 40 yards or something? He was coaching tight ends. He said, "Man, you ever gonna break a long run?" And we were playing Purdue. And I went like 47 yards down the sideline. He looked at me and was okay.
Hey, Edge. EJ.
What up?
So let me tell you how Lamar used to do me, man. You know how the receiver, you got to get the most dangerous man between the safety and the corner. So the strong safety be creeping down in the box. We getting ready to run the ball. Lamar know he's supposed to go in there and dig him out, right? He gonna dig him out, right? I hit him in the hole. I try to get 2 or 3 more yards after that. We get back in the huddle. I'm like, Lamar, why you ain't going there and dig him out? Lamar tell me, bro, I'm trying to get it 3rd and long. Now imagine if you had to deal with that every day in the game, bro.
Hey, don't worry about it. All you gotta do is, hey, when you got that 9 route, don't block.
Hey, no, here go the best Lamar story. Here go the best Lamar story. So UM is playing against Alabama. UM is Alabama and New Orleans.
Luther Campbell.
So Lamar comes to me on the sideline like I'm a coach. I ain't a damn coach. This motherfucker Gino ain't throwing me the fucking ball. And then you got who was the receiver? Who was the DB? The DB for Alabama. I forget what his name.
George T.
George T. Yeah, talking
Dang,
shit.
Hurley.
Sideline.
Dang, Hurley.
Fuck y'all. Lamar yo, you ain't fucking, man, Luke, go talk. So I go over to Gino. Gino's sitting on the bench. I said, Gino, right? I'm looking around, you know, seeing where the coach is at. Gino, you need to throw the ball to this motherfucker. What's up happening? Gino goes out there, throw the ball in the mouth. Blue! And the rest was history. Lamar had to tell the rest of the story. Unbelievable.
Oh, Luke, the best story about Lamar, we get done with football, we're in the spring, Lamar start running track. They ain't been out there practicing for a week. So they go to the Big East Championship. Lamar doing the high jump. Lamar and Horace Copeland doing the high jump. You got dudes, that's all they do on the other squad. All they do is do track. They own track scholarship the whole 9 yards. Man, Lamar went up there to the Big East Championship track meet and talked them dudes out of jumping, and they went first and second. They scared the hell out of them. Just talked them out of the whole track meet. And won first and second in the high jump. Lamar jumping like he jumping scissors on the high jump. He high jumped in 4 years and go win the Big East.
Hey, Hurley, he got to be the first person to take his helmet off in the end zone. He say,
Melvin,
I'm gonna take my motherfucking helmet off. Fuck that. I'm gonna take my Lamar. That's gonna be a penalty. Fuck that. I'm gonna take this man changed more rules in the NCAA than anybody on this.
I got that from Melvin, man. I got that from Melvin. I just want, hey, look, I came to Gainesville, man. I just wanted to be known, dog. I just wanted people to know me, bro. That's it. And I know if I took my helmet off, I could walk in the Strawberries and be the man.
Lonzo, you've got to tell the story. A lot of people, even with the 30 for 30, they talk about everything else but how hard we actually work. Yeah. So the story is, and I want you to tell it, the day that you was working out, it was pro day, you was working out, you had about a 2-3 hour workout. You went out there and worked out, and then after the workout, you went to the locker room.
What happened was, that was back in the 86, 87. You had fax machines back then. You ain't no emails or, so 13 teams, there were 27 teams at the time. So 13 teams got my pro day at 9 a.m. when I was supposed to work out. Well, 13 teams show up, I work out because I didn't work out at the combine. So I'm done for the day. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm sitting there. My girlfriend, who's my wife now, she brings me something to eat. I'm eating a Burger King. 14 teams show up at 1 o'clock. They said, we thought your pro day was at 1 o'clock. I said, well, shit, let's go. I got nothing else to do. Let's go. But that's not what mentality. You didn't know no better. So I did a second pro day. I ran again. My second day was better than my second pro day was better than the first pro day. But that was the mentality. You were broke. You didn't have any money. Didn't matter to you. There were no Instagrams. You didn't have everything you have today. So you said, you know what? Let's go.
What third pick of the draft?
About that AstroTurf and the Astrodome.
Concrete.
I didn't know you said you're supposed to be jumping in the air and landing on one leg and stuff like that.
Hey, Luke, before y'all get any further, Luke, I gotta say this, and because I hope a lot of people are actually watching, I'm sure they are. But I just want to thank Coach Don Solinger for saving my life and giving me a chance to be a part of this. Coach, I love you. Hey, without you, I don't know where I would be today. I really do.
You're the best, bro.
You saved me. You saved me too, Coach. I would have been up in somewhere.
Hey, hometown, appreciate you bringing Coach Solinger.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
And I couldn't recruit.
Was really about the dude out a window.
Y'all about the same height.
Yeah, and hey, and he goes like this, you got one fucking shot, man. He put me in the auxiliary locker room with the freshmen next to the shitter. It was overflowing. And he said, hey, man, you're going to have to earn your stripes at this bitch because I don't need you. But I'm going to give you an opportunity. And I took that opportunity like every guy in our locker room did. And everyone has their own story. My story is no different than anybody else's story because we all come from some place that got us to that locker room and inside that fraternity that, in my opinion, is one of the most special fraternities in the entire country. I don't give a fuck about Alabama, Auburn, LSU, or any of them other places. Ohio State, fuck that. Look at what the Hall of Fame is going to do the next 5 years. We're going to land a dude in Canton for the next 5 years. Reggie, you're next. This is crazy, man. I mean, it's incredible to be a part of something like this.
Yeah. And you know what? And here, on your side of it, I want to say this. Being in this league for the 23 years and have played at Miami and things, the way these younger players treat the older players has been phenomenal. And it's been, I've had nothing but praise and respect for Portis and Reggie Wayne and Adrian James. They could say, man, fuck those guys. I don't know.
Man, Ed James said that, Lonzo.
Young men.
No, man, you guys have carried it on, man. Clinton, I remember getting you on my show in Miami, and you referenced every single one of us, and you're talking about Reggie and William and all the guys that played on those 2000 teams. I mean, you guys knew Jonathan Vilma. All you guys know the history, and it was. I'll tell you what, that may be the greatest honor. Is that how you guys went on, constantly talking about us and keeping our memory alive with that, knowing that the cement was poured there, but you guys built the house. It's really crazy, right?
That's what it was. That's what it was. Reggie or EJ didn't lend a hand to me when I needed them.
Hey, I got to tell this story, Luke. So I'm coaching at Miami. All right, I'm coaching at Miami. I'm recruiting. We're up there for the state championship game. Booker T. Washington is playing. All right, and so we're at a stage in Miami that we're not having a whole lot of success. So I go down, walk into the stadium. We get there probably a little bit after the first quarter started. So everybody's seated in the stadium. Everybody's already there. They're watching the game. I show up, my orange and green shirt on. I'm walking through the crowd. Everybody start back to there, and I'm on the Booker T side. Everybody stop and they start to look. Some rumblings get going on. You know how it is, Luke. They weren't Miami fans at that time. So they looking at me, and all of a sudden, I hear Edwin say, hey, that's Hurley. He's straight. Everybody let me come on through. I said, damn. But that's what it's all about, man. Them dudes, the respect and love that they have for the older guys is phenomenal. There you go. Real OG.
That's one thing about it, though. Like, to be honest with you, like, I know when we were there, it was like we didn't want to let the older guys down because we know y'all guys had them built that foundation for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, we didn't want to let those guys down. Like, we took pride in when we were working out, and I'm a receiver, so I'll see, Lamar come back or Michael Irvin come back. Like, shit, that was love. So whenever we see them, especially on the sideline of the game, like, shit, we got to turn up. We got to show out. Like, we can't go out here ass stepping. And I remember when we played Florida State in 2000, and we ended up scoring at the end of the game. Michael Irvin met me out on the damn hash mark. He had all white fucking linen, on. You can see his drawers and everything out there. Over 100 degrees out there, right? And he hugged me on the hash mark. I'm like, Mike, you're going to get us in trouble. He like, I don't care, goddammit. We won this game. But to me, like, that meant everything because he was one of those older dudes that built that foundation. And the only thing we wanted to do is keep that legacy going. So we took pride into that, and we appreciate y'all for that.
Hey, Reggie, I bet you don't remember going to Black Gold after that game.
Yeah, that was like an office. Peters at the office, baby.
Black gold. Black gold.
Brett Romberg in here.
We got Ron Bird. We got the Cuban Joaquin
What's up,
Gonzalez.
Brent?
What's up, Joaquin?
Brent, you got to tell us one of them stories, Brent. You got to tell us one of them stories. Everybody done told stories. You just got in here. We need to hear a great story from you, brother.
Well, I would piggyback Reggie's story right there on that 2000 game, because that was after the nuts dropping that we did in Washington, when we got our shit kicked in basically for about 3 quarters. When we went up to Washington in the corner of the map, and that was our young crew, man. We were young. A lot of us were first-time starters. I know I was. Ken Dorsey, for that matter.
It was only my second game.
Yeah, man. That was our first go, and we ended up meeting a very feisty, loud, and still to this day, I think that was probably the loudest stadium that we ever played in, whether it was college or pro. Like Seattle Seahawks, man, nasty afternoon. Yeah, that's some loud. I don't know what kind of fucking engineer they got over there, but that joker needs to get a raise, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I think that Washington was the nut dropper, and after that day, I think it was just no turning back. Whether it was Swayze, whether it was getting your mind right on Thursdays up in the big team meeting room, it was a mental game. It was not only the physical sitting in the ice tub shit that we went through, but I think a lot of it was the mentality that we had. And me and Vilma talk about it quite a bit. I go back. I have like a mixed kind of history with Miami. So I get taken underneath the wing of Richard Mercier, who got fucked up by guys like Casey Jones, who got fucked up by guys like Mario Cristobal. So that twisted mentality of an offensive lineman, it just bred borderline retardation, to be honest with you. Like the stuff that we were doing and getting away with as fat boys, the chicks that we were dating should not have happened. Like stuff like this should not have went down, you know? And I feel after that Washington game, and as we went through in that frickin' Florida State game, that happened basically on my birthday. I spent the night in the hospital. I dehydrated. I lost after they pumped me with 4 or 5 IVs after that game, I still lost 14 pounds from pregame. I was still 14 pounds light. So you got the Shockey situation in the end zone. I didn't know where the fuck I was at. I was so damn tired. But that right there was exactly what Reggie was talking about that baton being handed off. And I don't think so much like I know it's been touched on about the young kids respecting the older guys and you know, basically giving credit where credit is due, kind of the same homage that we used to give to that previous class, the 95 to 2000 class, and then the 95 to 90 class. Like everybody basically goes in there like it's the goddamn mafia, and you have to pay your fucking respects. That's how you earn your stripes. That's how you earn your helmet. That's how you earn that sticker on your helmet. And I feel like that today, fuck, man, it's unfortunate. I feel like that is kind of lost. Like I really do. I don't think they're so concerned with what we did or what we do.
You know why, Brett?
Miami today. You know what I mean? I think it's more of we saw what happened in the past. We're a different crew, and this is our stepping stone to do something bigger, better, and greater. And that whole team camaraderie. I don't know if anybody's been over there talking to some of these cats, but they don't have no fucking team camaraderie. Do you know that kid Tate Martell never showed up for a month and a half at the fucking facility? Can you fucking believe that? A goddamn quarterback kid who's out there talking about how great he is, still to this day on social media, talking about he's fighting for that starting job. Bitch, you fucking left us for a month and a half. Do you realize that you wouldn't even be allowed back on campus? If one of us was walking the fuck, can you believe if we were walking on campus or we were at the tree? You want to talk about being at the tree and all of a sudden somebody shows up, ain't been around for a month? Brother, you're fucking rolling. You're out. You ain't going to make it in the locker room. You ain't going to make it in the couches. You ain't going anywhere, dude. It's over.
I see the veins on the side of the neck. Okay.
Man,
3, 4. Here we go. You should be able to hear me now. Ladies and gentlemen, again, what I was saying before, I didn't know the audio was out. I know there's a lot of talk on social media where we get on here, we have these conversations about the Canes of the past. This was taped in COVID, just so you know. This was taped in when there was COVID. And I just thought it was very important right now today to air this video with all these great historic Hurricanes, coaches, players, I mean, you name it. The most important part of what you heard was the culture of the program. The culture of the program. What it took to be a Hurricane. What the locker room was like. What the competitive edge was like. What was drink gas and die for the team was like. What it was like not to come out of the game because you know you had Reggie Wayne and you had Andre Johnson, Reggie Wayne, knowing he had Andre Johnson sitting there waiting to come in the game. That's what Hurricanes are all about. I want y'all to hear this for yourself because I know oftentimes I go on, do interviews, and I try to explain this of just me being around the guys and hanging out and knowing the coach and being a part of swag at Miami. I want y'all to hear this. And so I go on these Twitter spaces and try to explain to people what Miami culture is really like. You can only get it from the people who bled it. You heard Brian McKinney on here, and this is just one part. This is one part. I'm gonna let y'all hear the second. I want y'all to just live on this first part because it would be too much for you all if you're a Hurricane fan to impact if I let you listen to the second half. I'm gonna let you deal with this for a day or two. I may come back on Monday. I may play the second half tomorrow. But this is what Hurricane football is all about. You heard the guys get on there and tell you how tough it was, even Mario Cristobal, and how they fought every day in practice and how you would get your ass whooped. Real Hurricane football. Coaches on there. Some guys you just don't want to fuck with. You heard Clinton Portis tell the story about Donnie Salinger coming to recruit him. And when he told the coach walking out the field, fuck you. Man, my wife is my boss. And that meant a lot to Clinton Portis right now today because he remembered that. He was like, man, coach is some real shit. Coach is the real fucking deal. And that's how players get the respect of their coach who are coaching them in their room. Little things like that. Guy, remember that 15 years later. You see Brent on here. Man, fuck that. Here, motherfucker ain't even came to the building talking about he competing to be the quarterback. Fuck that. And there was no color line with them. You heard Reggie Wayne say something very important. I don't know if you missed it. Reggie said, I was recruited by LSU with the beautiful facilities and all that shit like that. And then I was recruited by Miami, and I came here to look like a third world country when I went inside the locker room in the training facility. He said, but the most important thing was we, 17 of us, he remembered the fucking number, 17 of us on the recruiting trip. We stayed together. There was no separation. There was no, oh, you the prima donna, oh, you the 5-star, oh, you the 8-star, you the this, and then we're gonna separate all y'all. He remembered that. Those are very, very important things to young men while they're on the recruiting trip. So it became fuck the facilities. I could play in my hometown with my mom and my friends and my high school girlfriend can all come to see me play at LSU, but I am going to the University of Miami because I feel like family. I feel like family. You heard these guys tell the story of our current coach, Mario Cristobal. He knows the way. Trust me. He knows the Cane life. And I wanted you people to hear these stories because you hear them from other people like myself. You hear them from other people describing Cane swag and what it's all about, and why Lamar Thomas told you why he took his helmet off in the end zone. He said it was Melvin Bratton. He said it was Melvin Bratton. You heard the story where Donnie Solinger told Alonzo Highsmith while he was the tight end coach, when the fuck you gonna break a home run, bro? And he popped off 47 yards. Everybody pushing everybody on a consistent basis. That's Hurricane football, boss. You heard Andre Johnson, who's going to the Hall of Fame next year. You heard receiver after receiver talk about Coach CJ. I can come on here and explain to y'all about Coach CJ. You just heard arguably one of the best receivers ever to play tell you about the rotation at receiver. The rotation at receiver. And the will to play injured. The will to play fucking injured. And knowing that if you go to that sideline, if you drop a football, you gonna come your ass out the game and you may never get back in the game. It's Hurricane football. This shit was built different. I tell people right now today, you can only fuck this up. It was built different. And we've hired former players as coaches because this is what we want. What you just heard in the first part, this is what the fuck we want. That's why we hire Randy Shannon. That's why we hire Mark Rick. That's why we hire Mario Cristobal. We probably got more goddamn former players that have been the head coach at the University of Miami than any school in the fucking America. It's the reason why we hire these. It's the reason why we hire these, our coaches, because we want that. And I'm going to play the second half tomorrow at the same time. All you young Hurricanes, want to be Hurricanes, players on the team right now, you heard what them guys said. They drunk gas and bleed this shit. They bled this shit. They held every person accountable. Well, no prima donna shit. And these was all-American guys. These was guys who were already projected to go first round. So they had their bag already coming. They never fucking quit. They never quit. You heard what Edgerrin James just said? You heard what Clinton Portis just said? You heard what Donnell Bennett said? You heard what Hurley said? Brian McKinney, who never gave up a fucking sack in the entire history while he was at the University of Miami. Never gave up a sack. You heard what Brian McKinney told you, who was pushing him to be great? It was Mario Cristobal and Art Kehoe. It was a young Mario Cristobal and was an older guy who Mario learned from, which was Art Kehoe, coaching him, pushing him to be great. I need my head coach to get back to this. I need my head coach to get back to this. It ain't nothing like a little fisticuff here and there in practice. Ain't nothing like a little, tighten up, touching up a little bit. Because there was a lot of touching up. The nicest guy in the world, Edgerrin James. You heard on the first half of this, Edgerrin James was the enforcer. Now, that's the nicest guy in the world. Out of Immokalee, Florida, come down to Miami And if you did not run them fucking 110s, the fucking running back will whoop your ass. I'm going to end on that note. So all you young people who never seen a national championship game win before, you've never seen a national championship team, you've heard the stories in the first half of this, and tomorrow I'm going to play the second half of it. This is what it takes to be a Hurricane. Until we get back to this, practicing like this, recruiting like this, which I think we will. But I want you all to hear it. I hope some of the coaches at the University of Miami tuned in. And if they didn't tune in, what you need to do is tell them to go to my YouTube page, Uncle Luke TV, pull it up. Get your dose of what it really is about being a Hurricane. If you're a young person, if you are young, 20-some years old, you've never seen the Hurricanes win a national championship in your life, and all you do is hear the stories from other people, reporters, telling the stories, you tune into this shit right here. And that is the expectations of this program right now. Don't make no fucking excuses for nobody. Oh, the kids ain't like that no more. Bullshit. I coach high school football. Bullshit. You either going to be physical or you're not. You're going to be a hunter or you're going to be the prey. It's just that simple. We're on our way as a program, but I want you all to listen to the second half. It's going to come up real soon. You heard them old boys arguing about the 2000 team. You heard them boys talking about great players. That would have been better than Deion Sanders. But them demons got a hold of them. Some great players came to that motherfucking University of Miami. You heard them, you heard the players, not some third-party motherfucker talk about it. You heard them talk about it. And you'll hear the rest of it tomorrow, 5 p.m. Yours truly, Uncle Luke. I'll holler. We're going to keep giving you the good shit. Make sure you check us out, me and Street tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning on Nasty Work. I love y'all. Peace.